tech fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
Brittney Griner was caught on tape during a game with the Indiana Fever, dropping racial slurs against Caitlin Clark. I mean, pretty obviously doing it. And it doesn't take a lot of genius to lip read Brittney Griner, whose voice, by the way, is about as low as mine is, calling her trash and an effing white girl. Now, of course, if Caitlin Clark had ever suggested the same in reverse, using black as opposed to white in that sentence, that'd be the end of her WNBA career. But Brittney Griner is going strong.
What do you call it when Brittney Griner and Aja Wilson march into the WNBA like it's their private empire, serving up slam dunks with a side of rules don't apply to us? Whether it's corruption, nepotism, or just unapologetic diva energy, one thing's clear. The league is starting to look less like professional sports and more like a low-budget reality show, minus the ratings. Buckle up for a front-row seat to egos, drama, and privilege so bold, it could give Hollywood a run for its money.
Sports supporters, well, it seems that the WNBA is, well, we know it's not a serious league, but it seems like maybe they are trying to hide something. They certainly do not want anybody with an opposing viewpoint covering their league. Now, mind you, this is a league that's never turned a profit. This is a league that, even with Caitlin Clark having joined this league last year, lost $40 million. Now, they got a new media rights deal coming, and that's going to bump up to about $220 million a year. But even that won't matter if something happens in Caitlin Clark's ratings.
Brittney Griner is fast becoming the WNBA's living embodiment of chaos theory. If unpredictability came laced in size 17 sneakers, stood like a final boss in a video game, and carried a backstory fit for a Netflix true crime docuseries, Griner would be its poster child. These days, fans aren't gripping their popcorn out of excitement. It's tension. When she gets to court, it's not just basketball. It's a collision course of raw power, controversy, and spectacle wrapped in high tops.
Viral clip. After she made a foul play, Griner appears to mouth something rather controversial. It might be, though we don't know, trash and possibly white girl. Others have suggested it might be trash and whack call. We don't know what she's mouthing, but she seems to, have a mouth on her and not exactly be in the gratitude space. Griner herself hasn't commented. Now, why is that?
Now, it's not just the fouls stacking up. It's the grievances. The backlash, the controversy, the flood of tweets demanding a full-scale WNBA boycott. That's right. These aren't just die-hard basketball fans anymore. They've morphed into courtroom pundits, cultural watchdogs, and self-proclaimed lead auditors. Because apparently, someone has to step in before the whole thing combusts in real time.
I don't know for sure what was going on with what cameras caught Brittney Griner saying on the bench after she had fouled out against Caitlin Clark's Fever in Atlanta. I waited to comment on this until the WNBA was able to investigate it. I wanted them to issue a statement about it, but we have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing. And Brittney Griner has not commented,
Let's be real. Brittney Griner's off-court resume isn't exactly winning her any nominations for Lead Ambassador of the Year. There was that high-profile detour in Russia, which played out less like a gripping political thriller, and more like a cautionary tale with too much bape and not enough nuance. And while some tried to frame her return as a triumphant homecoming, others were left scratching their heads, asking, since when did a rap sheet qualify as a redemption arc?
I wanted to talk about this man, because she is a man. He is a man. Okay, so Kim, you put this in the chat to talk about. Do you know the context for this Brittney Griner video here?
Oh, other than her just being a ridiculous bitch.
What the hell is her problem? Like, she has been handed
what
world.
happened? She was handed the most privilege that she.
Baby cough.
She was handed the most privileged situation in the entire world. We literally traded a war criminal for her worthless ass.
Ask a WNBA fan today what Brittney Griner brings to the league, and you might hear tension and maybe a little chaos. It's not just the prison stint that has people uneasy. It's the physicality. The elbows that always seem to find faces, The wild limbs that toe the line between competitive and reckless, and the stare downs that feel more like warnings than focus. Watching her on the court sometimes feels less like basketball and more like a slow-burning standoff. And now, the questions are getting louder. Is this even a fair matchup? Should she still be in this league? Has her presence crossed from dominant to disruptive? Then, there's the Caitlin Clark controversy, where Griner, intentionally or not, added fuel to an already tense situation with comments that some are calling racially charged. Because in today's WNBA, it's not just about what happens on the court, it's about the storm that follows.
That would be an immediate suspension, if not, Skip Bayless says, a career-ending statement for the white girl. Can you imagine? Now, seriously, can you imagine? Now, remember, before we move on to the audio and everything else, remember, the WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism in our league. Oh, what? It went from she didn't say that to, well, it's not racist to who cares. All without an investigation. And all of us here in Indy were saying, wait, we get painted as racist by this psychopath, Angel Reese, damn near every time her and her psychotic teammates come to town. And then we got to hear, oh, we want a safe place. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Brittney Griner, effing white girl, is racist as hell. Why's it got to be about white? How many times have you heard that the other way?
That's right, because rookie hazing seems to be part of the WNBA playbook this season, and Griner's going all in. Caitlin Clark, the face of the league's future, didn't just get a tough welcome. She got the Griner special, cold treatment, hard fouls, and more than a hint of hostility. You'd expect the league to step in, with rules, refs, standards, but it's been silence. The officials look the other way, and no one wants to say, maybe tone it down. Fans have noticed. They're not just booing. They're backing out, canceling tickets, and calling it out online. And this isn't just about Griner anymore. She's just the loudest example of a bigger issue. The league has a culture problem. At a time when new stars like Clark could revive the game, it's getting dragged down by bitterness, ego, and behavior better suited for a back alley brawl than a professional court.
Brittney, let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Yo. Jab stepping, just a brick. Swing and a miss. Oh! Yo, I ain't gonna fake it right now.
A'ja Wilson isn't helping either. She's siding with the old guard, guarding the spotlight like it's under threat. Instead of lifting up new talent, she's helping push it down. The message? Stay in your lane, rookie. Griner's lane, meanwhile, feels more like a WWE storyline. You don't know if she's about to dunk or throw someone across the court. It might make for wild highlights, but it tells young players that power beats skill, and that intimidation is the way to win. The league's letting it slide, fans aren't. They're demanding fairness, real competition, and respect. They're done watching rookies like Caitlin Clark get treated like intruders instead of the future.
It's just a big commotion. So I was just letting the fans just kind of relax. Like we're not here to hurt anyone. It's a basketball play, and that's what it's going to do. We're going to continue to make basketball plays, and it's going to be physical, is what we're trained to do. But that was my biggest thing, was just kind of be a fan. Yes, cheer for your team. That's okay. But at the same time, this is our job. I'm not going to hurt E-Dub, and she knows that. I'm actually checking to make sure she's okay. So I don't like the instigating. It doesn't help our game. It doesn't grow our game. So that's what I was telling people, just to kind of relax. Like, it's okay.
Fans are tired of watching Griner get special treatment while she barrels through games unchecked. It's not just bad optics. It's damaging the brand. The WNBA finally has national attention, but instead of building on it, they're letting chaos take the lead. Every shove, every missed call, every outburst chips away at the league's credibility. When Clark takes hits with no whistle, fans notice. When the league stays silent, it sends a message. Protect the vets, no matter the cost. Now fans are walking away, not because they don't care, but because they do. They wanted to see the league grow, to support the next era. Instead, they're getting a mess of aggression and ego. This was supposed to be a turning point. Instead, it's a warning sign. And it's not just Clark at risk. It's the integrity of the game.
Griner actually a female or a male? Now, Brittney Griner actually does play in the WNBA, which is a women's basketball association, right? But when you actually listen to Brittney Griner's voice is very, very masculine, okay? Now, Brittney Griner is also a lesbian, and we found out probably about, 3-4 months ago that Brittney Griner's lover, Cheryl, a woman, actually got pregnant. And a lot of people had questions, man. How did this happen?
If the WNBA keeps letting Brittney Griner treat the court like a personal grudge match, someone's going to get hurt. The league feels less like competition and more like immunity for the aggressive, and fans are over it. The problem isn't just Griner's elbows. It's the silence from the league while they pretend everything's fine. It's not. Caitlin Clark changed that. Before her, most people barely noticed the WNBA. Then she showed up, hit logo threes, dropped dimes, and made people care. Not because of hype, but because of how she plays. That's what drew us in, and that's what's at risk now.
Griner just called Caitlin Clark a trash effing white girl. Caitlin Clark has been picked on and abused ever since she entered the league in 2024, and now Brittney Griner is joining in on the action, saying that she is an effing trash girl because after she fouled out, she decided to take her anger and frustration out on Caitlin Clark. If the roles were reversed, imagine the type of field day the media would be having right now. Let's all remember the character of Brittney Griner. This is the same woman who got caught smoking weed in Russia and was jailed. And then Joe Biden made a trade for the Merchant of Death and returned him back to Russia for him to continue doing the same shenanigans that he was doing before he got arrested. He sold $10 million of arms to the house.